A prominent ex-poster for XRP believes ETFs are about to send XRP's market cap well into the trillions and hundreds of dollars per price. I want to break down what he thinks is about to play out here so you can be better educated on this. We also need to talk about how ETFs actually work. I've seen a lot of comments today, Sensei, why didn't the price go up? That is about to happen tomorrow. ETFs are T+1, right? The settlement happens the next day. So the buying is going to happen tomorrow. Let's go ahead and better understand how ETFs work. By the time you leave this video, you should be a complete expert. Let's go into it. Daily average scenario equals $245 million inflow for one ETF fund. We saw that today with Canary Capital times 12 ETFs. That would be 2.94 billion XRP daily net inflow. You times that by 100x market cap multiplier, that would be $294 billion in market cap per day. Yes, per day. All right. And so he's saying the market cap effect in a market with low liquidity, a relatively small amount of new capital flowing in can cause a much larger percentage increase in total market cap. This is because the new money is being matched against a limited available supply of the asset, driving up the price disproportionately. The calculation is often described as a ratio of the increase in market cap to the new capital invested. For example, if 1 billion investment results in 50 billion market cap increase, that's a 50x multiplier. Because there's a lower supply of XRP left on exchanges relatively to the total supply, we see this big market cap multiplier that we've talked about for years on this channel. Why it happens? Illiquidity. Cryptocurrencies with fewer coins available for trading have lower liquidity. This means that large trades have a bigger impact on the price that they would have more liquid market. Supply dynamics. The multiplier is based on the differences between the total supply of an asset of the supply that is actively available for trading. So what is this going to mean for XRP's price over the next 30 to 60 to 90 days? Using Chad's math and description here, this is what we came up with, okay? So the 2.94 billion, the 100x multiplier here, circulating supply, total market cap, current price. If we go 30, 60, 90 days using this math, we are talking about a ridiculous amount price for XRP. 30 days, $150, 60 days, $295, 90 days, $442. Now, my personal thought here is not every ETF is going to have this much demand. We might not see that play out like Chad's thinking here, but his math does kind of make sense. If there's not a lot of supply available and we keep kind of dipping into that supply to feed these ETF funds, if nobody starts to sell, right? If institutions don't like buckle and start to sell at $25 and $50, you could see the price skyrocket. And that's what a lot of people are hoping for. You got to also understand you have the ETFs, you have the treasury businesses, you have regulation coming in, you have the stablecoin explosion, you have banks and financial institutions wanting to use XRP and these types of things. All of this, right? EVM sidechain, DeFi layers, all of this is happening at the same time. It's going to create an even more demand for XRP. I don't think there's enough XRP available on exchanges, and this could lead to some serious price volatility. All right, so Chad also says, if you're still asking why didn't the price get affected today, understand how the ETF process works. Tomorrow, T+1, the net inflows will be handed over to purchase the asset. What I'm saying is that the ETFs are about to start going on a buying spree that will not stop once they start. How net flows actually work. Investor purchase. When investors buy more shares of an ETF on the secondary market than they sell, there is a net inflow. Creation of new shares. This demand triggers a process where an authorized participant creates an ETF shares by delivering the required baskets of underlying securities to the ETF issuers. Now, here is the exciting part. Capital allocation. The money from the sale of these new ETF shares is given to the ETF sponsor, who then uses that capital to purchase the underlying asset, which is XRP. So we should start to see that purchasing happening tomorrow. Now, if the next ETF launches tomorrow, All of that demand will probably happen on Monday, and so on and so on. You've seen it with Bitcoin. You've seen it with Ethereum. If you're like trying to figure out how all this works, go back and take a look at that information. Now, impact on the market. This purchase of underlying assets could drive up their prices, especially in markets like Bitcoin ETFs, where the inflow of capital directly buys the cryptocurrency. And so he's highlighting the 245 million day one for Canary. Now, there are other people across the space, in the ETF space specifically, that didn't believe XRP community would show up in full force. Out of 900 ETFs launched this year, XRP has the highest daily, almost $250 million in inflows. That is exciting, ladies and gentlemen. That means we are the top of the pyramid here. Maybe pyramid's the wrong word. Top of the pole. I don't know. Top of something. We're up there. We're top of the mountain. All right. And then James says, looks like XRP from Canary Funds has the largest day one trading volume for an ETF launch in 2025. Squeaks by Be Soul, 57 million. Doing it on a down day is pretty impressive. So even people that didn't think we were going to get there are now starting to realize, oh snap, maybe these people were right? Maybe the crazy sensei and the Jay Clavers of the world were right about all of this. That's what's up. Thank you very much. All right. And then Mike Novogratz, he's coming around too. Like something must be in the water here around where Mike Novogratz is.
How do you turn something from being a token into money? It's a really, really complicated and difficult. So far, we've had a few that have done it. XRP has done it. And that surprised everybody, right? Because
did it surprise you?
It did. And listen, we're a big owner of XRP, the company, but the token, because,
XRP, the company. See, what is Mike Novogratz still doesn't get it. How could you be this intelligent and in the crypto space and you still don't understand the difference between Ripple and XRP? Mike, if you ever want to come on the show, sit down. We'll have a great conversation. Invite is there.
All the same reasons everyone else. It was less decentralized. It was not a true blockchain. You can all the criticisms at XRP. It missed something important. They built a fierce community of people that believed in their narrative and turned it into money. And for them, it's money. How do you turn something?
For us, it's everything. That's what Mike still doesn't understand, right? He still doesn't get it. All good though. Maybe he will come around in the end. Now, Ripple is investing $4 billion into build a prime brokerage, custody, treasury tools, and stablecoin to push the bridge crypto with Wall Street. Now, I wanted to highlight this and why this is so important, right? Ripple's $4 billion investment buying spree to Hidden Road, now called Ripple Prime, and G Treasury and recent acquisitions are fundamentally reshaping XRP's position and Ripple's strategic future, unlocking powerful infrastructure for major institutions or corporations worldwide. Ripple Prime and its acquisitions directly addresses institutional needs by providing regulated prime brokerage access, robust custody solutions, risk management, and instant liquidity tools. This means that banks, asset managers, and multinational corporates can access digital assets like XRP through compliant, secure channels for the first time. They get deep credit, cross-margining, and post-trade settlement services they expect from traditional finance. G Treasury's integration allows treasuries to manage real-time liquidity across traditional digital assets, making it possible to move capital instantly instead of waiting hours or days for legacy payments to settle. Ripple's tools eliminate the need for pre-funded accounts, freeing up trapped capital and drastically reducing operational FX risk and global corporates. This unlocks growth in new markets and reduces the cost for companies operating internationally. Ripple's ecosystem now includes hundreds of banking partners using its blockchain rails for settlement, offering scalable, low-cost, ultra-fast payments with XRP at its core. The RLUSD stablecoin supports frictionless cross-border transactions, and MasterCard is piloting XRP settlements for card payments, making XRP's infrastructure the backbone of global payments instead of just speculation. Why this matters for top institutions, of course, regulatory clarity. Ripple Services offers vetted, compliant access, which is crucial for banks and major funds still unsure about the risk of crypto in their profiles. Liquidity access. Institutions can use Ripple Prime to route large orders, manage exposure, and tap deeper liquidity pools for trading and settlement, expanding XRP beyond speculative asset to financial infrastructure. Operational efficiency. Corporate treasury teams can automate capital management, hedging the payments, reducing manual intervention, and speed up global operations. And then, of course, market expansion. With Ripple's platform, companies can enter new markets and operate continuously, unlocking new business models. We saw what Ripple did when they went over and they took over Hidden Road, which is now Ripple Prime. They 3x'd the business in less than 6 months. 3x'd in less than 6 months. What does that tell you that Ripple's going to do for their G Treasury acquisition? And what people don't understand is it puts pressure on every other corporation that is competing against those corporations that now have Ripple's technology, right? When you have this available and access to money and you can move it instantaneously and you can earn yield and you can do all of these extra things, it puts every other business at a disadvantage. So now it's a race. Now, all of the corporations, the banks, the financial institutions are now all competing against each other to offer the best, the brightest, and the most secure, whatever you want to call it, right? Take all of it. This is the greatest wealth transfer in anybody's lifetime. And to be sitting on the sidelines and to not participate, I think will come back to bite everybody who criticizes crypto and all of these things, right? At least get in and participate. We don't know which technology is going to be here in 10, 20, or 50 years, but we have a good, strong understanding of what could be. The XRPs, the Ethereums, the Solanas of the world, those are probably the biggest and most successful bets right now in the crypto space, and I am holding on for dear life. All right, guys, that's everything I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below if you did. You can like the video, you can share the video. You can do whatever you want, guys. I just appreciate you being here. I'm Crypto Sensei. I'll see you next time. Aloha.